All right, party people, we are back and getting started back up at 11:11. And I got a packed message for you today, people. We are still going over the same thing. The nations are about to weep. You know what I'm saying? But as I was being led by way of the Spirit, there was a lot of things that the Father had me bring up. Okay, so we have a lot of things that we're going to be going over, and let's just go ahead and get started. All right, yeah, time is up, people. All right,
Time's up. You have not cared anything about us since you've been on this land. And today, many of you have been born in this land for the last couple hundred years or so. So you think you have every right to lay claim to this land as if it's your ancestral land. You still, sir, madam, are immigrants. Wherever you came from, over there in Europe. Your forefathers migrated over here, and they invaded a land. They invaded a people who they subjugated and never restored. Instead, they thought to themselves craftily, because they were being led by the crafty deceiver, they thought to hide who we are, so that way they could enjoy their blessing. How the hell else would they be able to enjoy their blessing on someone else's land?
isn't that a good question? That's a good question, isn't it? All right, how are you going to enjoy your blessing when you are literally squatting on someone else's ancestral land? And you've been taught for centuries that the people you've been mistreating is nothing more than sub-Saharan Africans that's destined to be your slaves for eternity as long as we're all in mortality. You would not be able to enjoy your blessing if you knew that. You would not be able to enjoy your blessing if you knew that this land and all the lands colonized were our ancestral lands. All right, so all the incoming Europeans that are over here, you need to understand that for a long time before this time here, before the end of the 14th into the 15th century, all right, you guys were not allowed over here, okay? But nevertheless, we broke the covenant that we had with our God upon this land, all right? And it was biblical prophecy that he would turn his face from us, all right? And so this is what happened. So just because you nations don't want to acknowledge this real prophecy that our lands were invaded by Europeans, okay, we can find this, we can find history of the Europeans flooding over to the Americas, all right? I'm not going to keep bringing up the same images, people. Just yesterday, I showed a picture of the Europeans on a real photo of a whole bunch of Europeans packed on a ship, packed in like sardines, coming to the Americas, okay? So, we all know that happened, okay? But what you don't want to talk about is who was already here when you invaded, okay? And now that you've been here for a couple of hundred years, you've been born here, you know, you're generations down the line, you seriously think that this is your land. It's not. Okay? It's not. It's still the land of the people who are descendant from the ones who were destroyed. Okay? So when you guys invaded these lands over here, our bloodline was already residing here. Okay? And when our God turned his face from us, it was biblical prophecy that all kinds of heinous atrocities would be committed against us at your hand. Okay? And we can find many historical things, about your history. Why don't you want to talk about your history? All right. Hold on. Okay. Because I'm not trying to go into too much, bro, because I already have a lot of. Um, mm, so you get all of these massacres, okay? So this is after you guys invaded our lands. After you guys invaded by the droves, okay, you literally began genocide and ethnic cleansing, okay? It, you literally had people like Margaret Sanger and all of these people who literally were trying to um get rid of us systematically. Okay, well, through manipulation of our genes. Not only that, but Margaret Sanger wanted, that's the whole reason she set up Planned Parenthood and abortion and all of that. Okay? To cut down on the Negro race. That's what they called us back then, Negroes, okay? There was a thing that they called the Negro problem as well, okay? The Negro problem. All right, the Negro problem. It was because we were already here, but they wanted to come and enjoy these lands. Okay? Let's see, the Negro problem. Alright. And he talked about it. So there's Booker T. Washington that talked about it, okay? So anyway, and it was a problem of the Europeans, okay? The Europeans seen us as a problem because we were on these lands, but yet they wanted to take over, okay? They wanted to take over, all right? An American dilemma, okay? The Negro problem and modern democracy, all right? They wanted to control the resources of our land, all right? The Europeans who came over here and invaded, they sought to take over. They sought to usurp the original people that were residing here and put us up under subjection. This was the whole purpose behind Christopher Columbus, all right? And he talked about it in his book of prophecies, all right? So anyway, this whole agenda to destroy us and take over our blessing, all right? So today we're walking around looking in the world that we're living today, and it's a white world, especially over here in America. All right. So we were taught as children all our life a Eurocentric worldview. Okay. Now, why is that? If we were the original people that were here when the Europeans invaded, a native of America originally applied to the aboriginals or copper colored races found here by the Europeans. If we were already here when the Europeans invaded, but now it's being applied to the descendants of Europeans born here in America, why is the descendants of these copper colored races, us, whom Europeans reclassified as colored, Negro, black, African American, all of these different terms that they slapped upon us. How come we are forcefully taught from children all of our life their version of our history? How come we are forced to accept their version of our history? How is that? How is it that these people can come to another people's land, rape, rob, murder, kill, steal, destroy, plunder, pillage, destroy, do all of this hell against the indigenous people of this land, take it upon themselves to reclassify us, perpetually continue to massacre us? Now they're the richest family in every state, and they get to tell us who we are. They get to dictate our ethnicity. And our ethnicity is it's like something that's non-existent, like black or African American, lost between two continents. Don't really have a land of origin. You niggas are just sub-Saharan Africa. Somewhere in Africa, you were swinging on trees. You should be grateful that we brung you over here to this promised blessed land. This is how we are treated. You have had no compassion for us, yet you glorify these wicked ass people who took over our land and enjoying our blessing to the fullest extent. Every last one of these people are wealthy. They are the richest family in every state. This was generational wealth that was passed down for generations. And they all had their hands in our destruction. Okay? So you can't possibly think that this won't be corrected. Okay? Because the people whom you invaded is still here. And we have received the Spirit. Okay? Yes, and we're instructed to speak this living word to you, to give you an opportunity to humble yourself and change your heart. We're not here to hate you. Okay? No, we're not here to hate you, even though your people did all of these horrible atrocities to us. Okay? Repeatedly. Alright? So this is how they became the richest family in every state. This is how they're able to just live in our ancestral land. Okay? You see this? This is a statue that's in, I think, Birmingham, Alabama. Alright? Why is people okay with this? Why don't you speak up about this? This boy right here is indigenous to this land. This dude right here is a foreigner upon this land, along with his war dog. See, that's what Christopher Columbus brung on his second voyage. He was packed with war dogs and things to force us to work for the Europeans. Forced us to get gold for them. Alright? Because of course, our lands were lush with gold and minerals and precious jewels. Okay? So the Europeans came over here and they just plundered everything that we had. Okay? Took all of our resources by brute force. Alright? And established their system of root hog or die poor. Alright? So you want to attach yourself to these wicked people and their oppression against us, their demonic oppression against us, because this is a spiritual war. All right? So you need to understand this. You are in the valley of decision, people. All right? Now is the time to begin to store up your treasures in heaven. Okay? While the blood is still running warm in your veins. Okay? The problem is you think you have time. All right? We're in a time where he said they will be eating and drinking and giving themselves in marriage, literally oblivious, enjoying themselves, enjoying this world, ignoring the oppression, ignoring the suffering. Okay? But yet his people, he woke us up within the land of our captivity, and it's all that's been upon my mind and my heart is the suffering of all humanity and all creation, and how wicked as people have been ruling for centuries. All right? It's getting to the point to where it's not gonna be no more. Okay? The eternal benevolence is gonna speak. All right? And when the eternal benevolence speaks, woe be unto the wicked. You never know when your soul is going to be required, people. You have humiliated Zion. Yes, you have. You know who we are. It is time to stop turning a blind eye to our affliction. Your time is up. We're here to let you know, because we know that you don't realize the time frame that you've been living in, but we have been living in the times of the Gentiles. We've been living in the great white European empire. It has been your world, white people, but now your time is up. We're here to let you know that. All right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Behold, saith the Most High God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to us. All right? Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I also do, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Most High God, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone from his wrath, and has consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin, and keep not my commandments, says the Most High God. Now, you have debased us long enough, people. If you want to continue to do it, you have your choice, but you are in a valley of decision, and your your choice to ignore us is a choice for the side of wickedness, as an adversary against us. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. You know who we are. You know that we were allotted into your hands. Okay? This is why you were able to just hang us in trees and you ain't never had to pay for it. Okay? You ain't never had to pay for all the heinous atrocities that you've done to so-called Negroes, so-called black people, okay? So-called African Americans, all right? You ain't never paid for any of this. You ain't never restored a people. And you seriously think it's okay. You think it's okay that we have never got justice, okay? You think it's all right. And you think the Most High God is okay with that. That's where you are sadly mistaken. All right? The heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for our iniquity, because we did transgress against him. Therefore, yes, he hid his face from us, and allotted us into the hand of our enemies. So we did fall by the sword. All right? And for a long ass time, we've been up under this captivity. Okay? Being evilly entreated by this wicked ass system that was erected upon our ancestral land, while all other nations got to come over here and take our blessing, all right, and enjoy it, while they scorn us and debase us, all right, gaslighting us, all right, forcing us to eat shit, telling us that we should like it. What's wrong with you niggas? How come you don't like our shit that we're feeding you? It's good for you. See, those who established this system and those who set themselves up in authority over all humanity and all creation, they know who we are. The problem is, you nations, all right, you common people, you know, these days you didn't heard who we are. You've just been choosing to ignore it as if it's irrelevant. That's where you're sadly mistaken. Okay? We're telling you who we are in this biblical prophecy that we would do this. Okay? We're instructed to let you know. We're instructed to reclaim our heritage. Okay? The Most High, our God, is with us. All right? He said that he would awaken us in the land of our captivity. He did this. He told us how we get him to hear us. We were obedient. We humbled ourselves to the spirit of truth. We accepted the reproof. We changed from our wicked ways. We're no longer stiff-necked with our God. We're walking in obedience. So that's what's detrimental to you nations. Okay? As long as we were in ignorance, doing wickedness right along with you, then all was well with it. All was well with you. You didn't have nothing to worry about. Because as long as we were in ignorance doing wickedness with you, the Most High was not hearing us. Our God was not hearing us. All right? Therefore, you didn't have nothing to worry about. But it ain't that way. It ain't that way now. Now, his people are walking in obedience, and we're crying out daily to be delivered from this oppression, this wicked ass system that's lacking all the fruits of the Spirit, that's lacking all morality. Okay? It is the complete opposite of the ways of our Father. Okay? Therefore, he is hearing us because our prayers are righteous. Okay? Our prayers are righteous. Our hearts are in the right place. We want love and truth and light and righteousness upon the earth. We're tired of deceit and immorality, all kinds of wickedness running rampant upon the earth. So now you wicked people, your time is up. And it doesn't matter what nationality, skin color, bloodline, whoever the hell you are. Okay? This is about your heart condition. It's about your mentality. You want to continue saying, repeat after me? You are not the children of Israel. You are African Americans. You ain't nothing but sub-Saharan African. You didn't do nothing. You didn't contribute anything to the society. Like, bruh, you want to be on that side? Go right ahead. And your judgment is coming full speed ahead. Children of Israel, Jeremiah 5:19. And when the people ask, why has the Lord our God allowed all of this upon us? You will tell them, as you have forsaken me and served foreign gods in your own land, so now you will serve foreigners in the land that is no longer your own. Okay? How can it be our land when the foreigners came and overran our land, took over by raping, robbing, murdering, and destroying us, taking the children and putting us in boarding schools, okay? Indoctrinating us into their Eurocentric reality, okay? They stamped out the Indian and kept the man, all right? So we didn't know who the hell we were. We grew up as children being taught a false history. Okay? So, of course, it ain't our land. We're up under subjection to a wicked ass system. So, therefore, the system that's over this land, it has usurped us and our land. Okay? So, it's no longer our land. It became their land, the land of our enemies. Okay? Nevertheless, your time is up. Because now, all the elements of this land is going to protect the original inhabitants. Those of us who are righteous. Those of us who are being obedient. Okay? Your time is up, nations. And even for our own people of this land, their time up too. Evil has extended its kingdom and has been strong on earth. And it is precisely in this time that I bring my weapons to oppose these powers, so that my kingdom of love and justice may be established among men. But before my kingdom is established, I will have to battle evil, for it is necessary that I wage war and destroy all evil to give you the peace of my spirit. Now, how does he wage war? With shining light. The sword of the Spirit. Truth. Okay? This is from the Third Testament. Alright? From the Third Testament. Alright? The war against evil. Alright? We are ushering in the kingdom of love and justice. You can't have a righteous kingdom when there is no justice for a particular group of people who you want to keep in your subjection. Also from the Third Testament. My destiny is to destroy the darkness of ignorance. That ignorance that has been the mother of fanaticism, of idolatry, of the superstitions, and of all vices and errors. This is the Messiah speaking. Alright? And all who are his sheep, we hear his voice and we follow. So my destiny is the same, to destroy the darkness of ignorance. I am here to shatter strong delusions and false realities. Okay? That does not make me arrogant when I live what I speak. All right? It is so that ignorance that has been the mother of fanaticism, of idolatry, of superstitions, and of all vices are destroyed. Okay? So people can be able to see clearly and make a logical choice for themselves. All right? They cannot make a logical choice for themselves when all they're fed their whole freaking life is nothing but deception. Observe the trail of my passing upon the earth, and you will end up realizing that not only today, but rather in all eras, the mission of Elijah has been that of a shepherd who guides a flock toward the divine fold. Between God and you, I find myself fulfilling the mission as intermediary, as forerunner, as a prophet and spiritual advisor of every being who needs the help of a strong spirit. My loving flock, behold, the word that comes from the Most High God, the word of the Master now draws near, and you will feel in his divine essence, his presence, and his omnipotence. Contemplate nature, observe the vegetation, and you will realize that in it are the tiny plants which are of use to you as food and balsam. Okay, balsam. Behold, the Sun King, which day by day illuminates your earth, and that day by day gives you warmth and life. And all this is because of the infinite love of the Father. Okay? You are completely ignoring the Creator. And you have replaced your Maker, the Creator of this earth, and the sun, the moon, and the stars which govern over the earth, giving us light and warmth and all of these things. Okay? You've completely disregarded that, and you've replaced it with the love and admiration of money and those who have it. Okay? The purification and spiritualization of humanity. This is also from the Third Testament. You have forgotten the eternal law, and you have waited for the elements to remind you of my justice. Hurricane winds, waters that run off their course, earthquakes, droughts, and inundations are voices that awaken and speak to you of my justice. What other fruit can humanity offer me in this period? Hold on, people. Let me see if I can actually get more of that. The purification and spiritualization of humanity. 1 second. Come on, bro. My computer. That's it right there. Just got 443. Dang. people. It's already got a whole bunch of stuff up and the purification. Okay, you have forgotten. I haven't read through all of this. Hold on. Where is it at, bro? Where is it? You have forgotten my law. Hmm. 1 second, people. Dang, that is crazy. It's not saying the same thing. 1 second. The purification. I don't understand where the hell this is at. You have forgotten the law. Let me see if I can find that way. You have forgotten the law. Okay, here we go. That's it right there. Alright, thank you. Alright. You have forgotten the law, and you have waited for the elements to remind you of my justice. Hurricane winds, waters that run off their course, earthquakes, droughts, inundations are voices that awaken and speak to you of my justice. What other fruit can humanity offer me in this period that will not be discord and materialism? Neither do these people who for years have listened to my teaching are able to offer me a pleasing harvest. Alright? So again, it's not about your money. Because the Father doesn't care about your money and your materialism, your freaking vain physical things. It is about your heart condition. It's about your mentality. Alright? Do you not hear the voices of justice? Do you not behold the elements touching region after region? Do you believe that if you lived a virtuous life, there would be a need for my justice to be felt in such a manner? Verily I say unto you, that there will be no object to purify you if I have found you cleansed. Alright? You only reap what you sow, people. So if you never sow evil, you will never reap any evil. There will never be any evil unless you choose out of your free agency to create evil. Therefore, evil is going to be there, coming back to you because you didn't set out you put out the negative evil energy. Therefore, that negative evil energy is coming back for you. All right? Yes. Now, I just wanted to get the rest of that little piece, alright? Now, give me just a moment, and I'm going to read to you the great prophecy to the nations. Alright, let me check my time. Alright, we're at 39 minutes, but give me just a moment, people. I got to use the restroom. Alright, and heat my coffee up. I'll be right back. heritage, and we lost our language. Speaking of, let me see. Come on. Let's see here. Yeah, we lost our heritage and we lost our language. We lost our heritage and we lost our language. We lost our heritage and we lost our language. We lost our heritage and we lost our language. Yet the world has been mocking. Yeah, the world has been mocking. The world has been mocking. Oh well, the world has been rejoicing. Yeah, the world has been rejoicing. The world has been rejoicing. While the world has been rejoicing, his people been in mourning. Yeah, his people been in mourning. His people been grieving. His people been grieving. Happening daily. His people are in mourning. Yeah, we lost our heritage, and we lost our language. We lost our heritage, and we lost our language. We lost our heritage, and we lost our language. Oh, thank you very much for your patience. I am back. All right. Now we're gonna deal with this great prophecy to the nations that was delivered on January 10th, 1945. All right, the Third Testament. All right, one second. All right. The great prophecy to the nations, verse 11. I now speak to the nations of the earth. You all have my light. With it, you will reflect on the fact that you have come to take lives as though you were their owners. When he says that you have light, you have a conscience, okay? Just because you seared your conscience with a hot iron don't mean you don't have one. All right? Truly I tell you that your destruction and pain have raised profound repentance in many and awoken millions of beings to the light. They now seek and invoke me, and from them a clamor arises to reach me, asking, Father, can it be that the war will not end in 1945 and that you will not come to dry our tears and bring us peace? Here is my presence among you, O 7 nations, 7 heads you have raised in the world before me. England, I enlighten you. My justice will strongly touch on you yet, but I shall give you strength. I touch your hearts and tell you that your ambitions shall fail, and your power shall be taken from you and given to no one. Germany, in this moment, I have touched on your arrogance, and I tell you, prepare yourselves, for your seed will not perish. You have asked me for new lands, and men have interjected themselves in my high judgments. I have bowed your pride. I have bowed your pride and tell you to take my strength and trust in me, for I shall deliver you. Yet if you do not trust in me and give in to your arrogance, you shall fall and be made slaves of the world. That, however, is not my will. For this is the time in which I am toppling the lords and freeing the slaves and captives. Take my light and arise. Russia, my spirit sees all. The world will not be yours. It is I who shall reign over you all. You shall not succeed in erasing my name, for Christ who speaks to you shall reign over all men. Give up your materialism and prepare yourselves for a new life. If you do not, I shall break your pride. I give you my light. Italy, no longer are you the Lord as in times past. Today, humiliation, slavery, and war have destroyed you. Because of your degeneration, you are passing through a great purification. Yet I tell you, regenerate yourselves, set aside your fanaticism and idolatry, and recognize me as the Lord of Lords. I shall pour out new inspirations and light to you. Take my balm and forgive one another. Friends, you have presented me your pain. Your lamentations have reached the height of my throne. I receive you. Yesterday you rose up as a lord. Today you have only the chains you drag to present me. You have not prayed, nor kept vigil. You gave yourselves to material pleasures, and the dragon has made you his prey. Yet I will save you, for the cry of your women and the tears of your children have come to me. You wish to save yourselves, and I cover you with my mantle. Yet truly I tell you, pray and keep vigil and forgive. The United States of America, in this moment I also receive you. I see your heart, not of stone, nor of metal, but of gold. But I find your mind of metal hardened. I do not find love in you, nor spirituality. I see only grandeur, ambitions, and greed. And because of this, your ambitions, your grandeur, your ambitions, and your greed, you demonize and you debase and you scorn the few of his people that are here that's the opposite of this. All right, so that's all this judgment is gonna be so great on you. Oh my God, continue. And yet I ask, when will my seed put down roots in you? He asking you, when are you gonna receive his people that he left here to give you his word by the way of the Spirit? How long are you gonna despise his people? When will you topple your golden calf and your tower of Babel, so that you may build the true temple of the Most High? I touch your conscience from first to last, and I forgive you. I enlighten you, so that at the supreme hour, when the test reaches its culmination, your mind will not become confused, but think clearly, and remembering that I am before you. I give you light, strength, and power. Do not interfere in my high judgments, for if you disobey my mandates or trespass the limits marked, pain, destruction, fire, pestilence, and death will come for you. Japan, I receive you and speak to you. I have entered your sanctuary and seen all. You do not wish to be the hindmost, but have always wished to be the first. And truly I tell you, that seed is not pleasing to me. It is necessary for you to drain the cup of bitterness so that your heart may be purified. It is necessary that your language be mixed with other languages so that the world comes closer to you. When the world is cleansed and prepared, it will bring you the seed that I will give, for I see none who are prepared. I do not see in you the spiritual seed of my divinity, yet I shall prepare the way. Soon there will be a chaos of ideas in the universe, a confusion of sciences and theories, and after that, the chaos, the light will come to you. After that chaos, the light will come to you. I prepare and forgive all of you, and shall make you enter the true path. When the time is right and peace comes among the nations, do not be reluctant. Do not oppose my will. If the nations have signed, do not betray them, for I will then unleash my justice upon you. Seven nations, seven heads, the Father has received you. Before you, under your dominion, is the world. You will answer to him for it. May the light of the book of seven seals be with each of the nations, so that men may prepare according to his will. All right? It tells you about these wars and natural catastrophes, signs in heaven. All right? We're in this time right now, people. Understand that it is a time of justice, for truly I tell you that all must be atoned for. The earth itself cries out at the poor use made of it, and the elements by man. All that has been destroyed it shall demand of you, making men realize that they were made by the Creator for the purpose of love, that the only will that could the only will that could destroy them is that which protects, cares for, and blesses them. Okay? We were created for the purpose of love. All right, loving and valuing and cherishing one another, not materialistic things and money. Okay? I have come to you as a liberator in this era, showing you the road in the desert, the spiritual journey of the struggle for liberation and salvation, finally announcing you the promised land, which is peace, light, and the happiness of the Spirit. Blessed are those who rise up anxious for liberation and spirituality to follow me in this journey, for they shall never feel alone or weak in the trials brought by the vast desert. Woe to those, in contrast, who lack faith, to those who love the things of the world more than the spiritual, those who remain tied to their idols and their traditions, they believing they serve me, will be the subjects of Pharaoh, which is the flesh, materialism, and idolatry. He who yearns to come to the promised land, the homeland of the Spirit, must go through the world leaving the tracks of goodness. Approach on that road and do not fear, for if you base your hopes in me, it shall be impossible for you to be lost. And if you do not fear or lose trust, it is because of your faith. It is because your faith is not absolute. Oh, hold on. And if you do fear or lose trust, it is because your faith is not absolute. For I tell you, that he who wishes to follow me must be persuaded of my truth. All right? This is why I will never turn my back on this. I would most definitely give my life for this. I am giving my life for this. I have given up my original life for this. Okay? Yes. I have free agency to choose. Okay? I could have chose to continue to follow the ways of the world and, get a job, earn money, be on a repetitive cycle, and my spirit would be in turmoil, okay? Because this is what I'm supposed to be doing, all right? Now, this is also from the Third Testament, chapter 4. The world situation seen in the cosmic perspective. All right, the prophecies. It is a characteristic of both the Bible and the sages that they make predictions about the future. The prophets work together predicting, leading, and supporting evolution. They are in harmony with the Most High God's plan. The Old Testament predicted the coming of the Messiah, the Messiah's birth, life, and deeds were the fulfillment of these prophecies. Isaiah 7:14. Christ predicted the coming of the counselor, the spirit of truth. The third testament is the fulfillment of this prophecy. Well, no, the spirit of truth is a spirit. It's not a literal freaking physical book. All right. Although the spirit of truth can utilize this book, this record. Okay. But the record itself ain't the spirit of truth. Okay. The third testament they claim is the bruh. Moving on. Likewise, it has been predicted that the kingdom of the Most High God will become a reality on earth. The children of light is ushering it in. Predictions are based on the knowledge that those who are initiated have about the eternal laws of love. Laws that guide everything that takes place outwardly as well as inwardly. Our present times have been described by those who are initiated as the quote unquote last days or the day of judgment. What is meant by the day of judgment is the final struggle and destruction of the killing animal temperament in the human being's consciousness. According to the laws of evolution, the animal mentality is doomed to be destroyed. The sages have seen that a struggle between good and evil is taking place in the souls of human beings, and that this conflict will reach its culmination, quote, at the end of time. They are also in agreement about the fact that one cannot remove the instinct of self-preservation and self-interest just by talking them away. They have to be acted out until they die of their own accord. Hence the predictions about the quote-unquote day of judgment. Okay, see, this instinct of self-preservation and self-interest was forced upon us by this unrighteous, unjust system. All right, we were forced to live like animals. Okay, see, those who established this system, they wanted the population to be cattle, basically. Okay? Nothing more than cattle. All right? That's how they see the population. All right? So, and, they've made it to where it's normal to be eating dead bodies of animals. So, and this has been for centuries. So for all of this damn time, people been eating dead bodies. Their consciousness is seared with a hot iron. All right, you are what you eat. You eat animals, you become animalistic. Okay? Man, humanity is in conflict with itself. All right. Hold on. Day of Judgment. The sages have been acquainted with the future as well as the laws governing the evolution of consciousness. The Day of Judgment signifies a day when our actions are judged and the consequences, which according to law will ensue, come into effect. In biblical terms, it is about the consequences of transgressing the laws of love. The Day of Judgment is a symbolic expression and of course comprises more than a period of 12 hours. The sages were perfectly aware that fine words are not enough when it comes to such a difficult problem as the development and transformation of the mentality. In this century, the quote-unquote Antichrist, that is to say, the killing principle in the human consciousness, has reached its very highest point. All right, first letter of John 2:18. Little children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that the Antichrist is coming, even now many Antichrists have come, by which we know that it is the last hour. The opposite of the love exemplified by the Hamashiach and the principle of forgiveness has reached its culmination. The day of judgment can be recognized as a fact. Hold on. Loving one's neighbor offers better protection than weapons, man-made weapons. Now, I hadn't read this before today, but yet that's been what's been upon my spirit. Okay, many times, I talk about how I never had a need to go get a gun. I never owned a gun, people. I never owned a sword. All right, I've owned pocket knives before. All right, and that was only because they were given to me. I ain't never bought a man-made weapon. Okay, never bought a man-made weapon ever. Okay, that's never been me. Okay, so this was just confirmation. This was more confirmation. All right, we don't have nothing to fear when we actually keep in the eternal law of love. All right, loving one's neighbor offers better protection than weapons. All right, only through one's own actual experiences and the experience that one gains as a result of them can change in temperament come about that will lead to a better world. Let me read that again. Only through one's own actual experiences and the experience that one gains as a result of them can change in temperament come about that will lead to a better world. I think they might have. I don't know what the hell that seems like a run-on sentence like crazy. Anyway, no one will ever succeed in defeating the enemy using weapons. Like, how many times have I said this? Like, all you doing is perpetuating evil. Okay, you're gonna reap what you sow. Okay, you think that you're saving life by taking life. That's asinine. Okay, so you think you're saving someone that is righteous by killing someone that you consider to be wicked. Nevertheless, you don't allow your maker to intervene for someone who is truly righteous. And if it's not their time to go, okay? Like, why can't you elevate your conscience? Okay? Elevate your consciousness. All right? Quit thinking that you got to take matters into your own hands. There is higher power. Okay? There is higher power. All right? Owing to the fact that one is reborn, killing the enemy is no solution, and the weapons that once prematurely ended the enemy's life will soon be turned on the one who carried out the original killing. Only through forgiveness and friendship can the enemy be defeated. How many times have I told you that divine love is all powerful, because you can't force divine love to become evil. Okay? So that's what's all powerful. Evil can't be all powerful because it forces its way. Divine love doesn't force. All right? So it doesn't even boast itself as being all powerful. It doesn't have to. Okay? Divine love puts a stop, puts an end to evil. Evil cannot go past divine love. Therefore, divine love is all powerful. All right? Divine love, gives a time frame, time intervals. All right? For free agency, allotted for free agency and chastisement. All right? Now, I think that was it. The ability to love is born out of suffering. So it's like I was prepared for this. I've lived a lifetime of being debased. I've lived a lifetime of being belittled and unloved by my own damn family. Okay? Like, I've lived a lifetime of suffering. Okay? So it calls me to cleave to the eternal power of love. All right? It calls me to cleave and seek benevolence. All right? Again, I've never read this until right now. So I'm telling you that evil is not all powerful, right? And here it is right in our face. There is fortunately a limit to the extent to which evil can develop. The law of fate guarantees that no tree can go on growing right up into the sky. Believing that the enemy can be defeated outside of oneself is like fighting one's shadow. Only when we can no longer bear to inflict even the slightest suffering on our neighbor will we be totally free of evil. Okay? The personal experiences of suffering form the basis of all humaneness. It is from them that love derives its nourishment and strength. War abolishes itself. The ability to quote do evil withers and eventually dies because everyone reaps the unavoidable consequences of evil, namely suffering. Out of suffering grows the love that was exemplified by the Hamashiach, true love of one's neighbor. Okay? He loved these wicked people so much that he did not wish any evil upon them that were torturing and murdering him. He kept a pure heart the whole damn time, saying, Father, forgive them. They are in ignorance. They know not what they do. That does not mean that they were actually forgiven. Okay? It just means that he purified his own heart. He did not harvest bitterness and envy, nor any kind of animosity. None of that was harvested within his heart as they were torturing and murdering him. Today, as I have been doing my spiritual mission, walking by faith and not by sight, I have not earned money since April 1st of 2022. Okay, April 1st, 2022. All right, and so I seen firsthand how the whole community banded together to shut up their bowels of compassion from me. All right, I had no love from the community. All right, at one particular time, the Father used somebody to reach out to me in email, sending me gift card information in email. It was the only way that I was able to survive. All right, the Father somehow, some way will make a way for his servant. But yes, the people banded together to say, we're not going to give nothing. I bet he'll get himself out there and get a job if ain't nothing coming from any of us. And they sat back and they watched me lose the internet. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. They sat back and they listened to each one of my videos talk about receiving notices to vacate. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but like 4 times. Okay? And their hearts were hardened against me. Did that cause my heart to grow hardened towards them because I was facing all of this hate? All of this lack of support? All of this unkindness? All of this lack of mercy? Lack of empathy? Did that cause my heart to grow cold? Did I become envious or jealous or bitter? Did I resent them? No, my heart remained pure. And I said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They are in ignorance. They are attached to this satanic ass system, and they can't see outside of this false ass reality where they think that everybody is required to earn money to sustain their life. They're only right about half of it. Yes, that was enforced by the wicked. Nevertheless, there is a higher power whom they are not taking into consideration. All right? They're viewing in God we trust as the highest power. All right? So that's their choice. But they can't force that upon me. And because I understand that they are in a 3D mentality where all they see is the love and glorification of the God of money, all right, it causes me to have compassion for them because I know that they're going to reap the things that they have been sowing against me. Okay? So I don't have to harvest any bitterness or envy, jealous. Why the hell would I be jealous of them? I get something that's way more valuable than any amount of money or materialistic things upon this earth. Okay? That don't make me arrogant because it don't belong to me. It ain't mine to claim, like, bro, I don't have a monopoly on the spirit of truth, nor the Holy Spirit. Anybody can obtain it. You obtain it through humility. Okay? So, why the hell would I be jealous of these people? I'm not jealous of them. All right, now, we are going to deal. Let me check my time. All right, we're at 1:11. We're going to deal, people. We're going to deal with this. All right, because you need to understand that, the people of this land, we've been up under this subjection for a very long time. You do not love my God when you have no love in your heart for us. Okay? The arrogant one will stumble and fall with no one to pick him up. And he is going to allow a fire to be kindled in the cities to consume all those, okay? All those up under the heaven that are wicked. All right? This is what the Most High of Hosts says. The sons of Israel are oppressed, and the sons of Judah as well. All their captors hold them fast, refusing to release them. You are doing the same today. Okay, this is the prophecy that's talking about. All right, the sons of Israel are oppressed together with the sons of Judah. All right, and you guys are refusing to let us go free. Okay, you're wanting to hold us as prisoners of war. All right. You're continuing to stand upon us. You're continuing to trodden us down. So the only way to show yourself of my Father is to assist us. Okay? Is to assist us. You see how this system has trodden us down. Understand that our God allowed this for a period of time, but now you're in a valley of decision. Your decision to help us or continue with being complacent with the system. Okay, that's your only two options. Your options is to either help us or be complacent with the system. All right. All of you who choose to be complacent with the system, you are refusing to let us go. But our Redeemer is strong. The Most High of Hosts is his name. And he will fervently plead our case, so that he may bring rest to the earth, but turmoil to those who live in Babylon and who have joined themselves to this beast system. Okay? This is a testament of Asher. chapter 7. Okay? So you need to understand who we are. We are the people of the book. They reclassified us as black, all right, Negro, African American, all of these things, all right. I don't accept that term Jew, all right, because it's a different meaning, all right. Understand? Yes, at one point in time they were referring to the tribe of Judah, okay, as Jews, okay. Nevertheless, it's been polluted. It's been perverted. So I'd rather just drop that term altogether, okay? But the people of the book, we are the tribes of Abraham, okay? The tribes of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, all right? Now, we were warned by Asher to not become like Sodom, which did not recognize the Most High's angels and perish forever. For I know that you will sin and be delivered into the hands of your enemies. Your land shall be made desolate, and your sanctuaries wholly polluted. All right? This is holy places and people. We were wholly polluted as a people. All right? As we were taught to consume dead bodies and think that is normal. Okay? You will be scattered to the four corners directions of the earth here in America and all over the earth. In the dispersion, scattering, you shall be regarded as worthless, like useless water, until such time as the Most High visits the earth. Over here in America, the dove has returned, and he awakened his people within the land of our captivity, and brought back to remembrance of who we are. All right? So now is the time that even though we're still being regarded as worthless, okay, you're still ignoring us, nevertheless, we are being obedient. You're looking at us like we're useless water, even though we're being obedient, and we're operating within our spiritual mission, within our purpose that we have been given. Okay. He shall come as a man, eating and drinking with human beings, crushing the dragon's head in the water. He will save Israel and all the nations that cleave unto us. All right? All right? Tell these things, my children, to your children, so that they will not disobey him. Okay? For I know that you will be thoroughly disobedient, that you will be thoroughly heathenistic, heeding not the Most High God's law, but human commandments, being corrupted by evil. For this reason you will be scattered, like Dan and Gad, my brothers. You shall not know your own lands, tribe, or language. We lost our language. We lost our heritage. But he will gather you in faith through his compassion and on account of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have a covenant with a true and living God. Okay? Therefore, there will be justice for us. All right? And you are in a valley of decision, nations. We're here to put you on notice.
Yeah, we lost our heritage and we lost our language. We lost our heritage and we lost our language. We lost our heritage and we lost our language. We lost our heritage and we lost our language. Yet the world has been mocking. Yeah, the world has been mocking. The world has been mocking. Oh well, the world has been rejoicing. Yeah, the world has been rejoicing. The world has been rejoicing. While the rejoicing. His people been in mourning. Yeah, his people been in mourning. His people been grieving. His people been grieving. Happening daily. His people are in mourning. Yeah, we lost our heritage. Yeah, we lost our language. We lost our heritage. And we lost our language. We lost our heritage. And we lost our language.
So that happened, people. Now, all you nations that is confederate with keeping us in this captivity, this shall be the plague wherewith you will be smited, all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Your flesh shall consume away while you stand upon your feet, and your eyes shall consume away in their holes, and your tongue shall consume away in your mouth. You are going to reap the destruction you have sown. Okay? One second. This is from the Book of Remembrance of Enoch. All right. And it's going to talk about the purpose of the Messiah. All right. And it came to pass that Enoch mourned greatly, and I saw it with Urim, and I wept together with them, and my heart was broken for Enoch, for he saw that the wickedness of his own son would contribute to that which would inflict the life of his dearly beloved Motza the Lamb. And he was about to be overcome in his grief. But the Lord put his hand upon him, and he comforted him. And the Lord said to Enoch, your mother Kava shall come to my mother, and she shall announce my birth, and she shall reveal the vision of my created purpose to her. And Kava shall bring to my mother the spirit and presence of Eden to walk with her. And it came to pass that Enoch wept again at the thought of a mark, that is an element of wickedness, being placed upon the body of flesh, that was to be for his lovely Motza the Lamb. And Enoch thought, can the inheritance of Seku go on forever? And the Lord said, when I am resurrected to live again, the mark shall not go with me, for it is the element of wickedness, but it shall remain upon the earth until the end thereof. And Enoch said, Lord, is there no one who can go for you? And Enoch laid his hands upon the garment of the Lord, and the Lord said, it is a task that I have been given by my Father, that I shall follow the handiwork of the loving kindness of my Father, who are all of the children of men, and I must follow them out of the natural world into the temporal world. All right? The spirit world is the natural world, and the temporal world is the earthly world. Okay? And I must follow to go with them whithersoever they go. And all through the course of the earth, except in the beginning with my wing, and in the end with the holy city, all of the religions of man are corrupt to some degree or altogether. And it is my task to find the means within the context of those religions to bring salvation to as many as will love me and love my Father. And in this way, I must be subject to their sins and corruptions in both their lives and in their religions. Because again, Divine love does not force anything. Okay? Anything that's forced is evil. Okay? Divine love offers free agency. All right? It gives free agency, but at the same time it also um you cannot not reap what you sow. Okay? That's part of divine love. That's the part that wicked people want to call evil. But that's not evil. That is righteous. Okay? It's not evil for people to reap what they sow. All spirits is going to reap what they sow. Okay? All spirit children are going to reap the energy that they sow. I mean, come on, people. If you are a gardener, if you are a farmer, you plant a freaking orange tree, you are expecting oranges to grow on that tree. Okay? You're going to reap what you sow. There ain't no way you're going to plant an orange tree and get freaking peaches. Okay? You're going to reap what you sow. Oh my God. It is impossible for you to do evil and never reap it. Okay? That is not evil from divine love. That's not divine love doing evil. That's only divine love allowing the evil that was put out into the earth to come back on the one who sent it, who created it. All right? Who carried it out. Now, divine love takes darkness and turns it into light. Okay? It takes evil and turns it into good. That's what divine love does. All right? So therefore we have to go through all of the affliction and persecution, all of that of the evil, so that we can take it and turn it into a positive. All right? And there are other marks upon my body that show that I am subject to the corruptions of religion in my obedience to the will of my Father. And because they are the marks of obedience to Anak, he said, they are the element of righteousness upon me. And they shall remain to always be with me, even from before the beginning. That is love in the heart. Okay? And when I find my body of flesh, men will do whatever they will to me, according to the task that I have been given. And all I do must be in the midst of sin and corruption, for that is the place where I am sent, to rescue the loved ones of my Father. But the wicked will say that only an uncorrupted religion can bring salvation. Thus, in the life of every person, I must submit myself to their individual expressions of religion, and in this environment I may find a way to bring them salvation, even according to how they will choose. All right? So there's many, 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 many paths to the narrow path. But once you find the narrow path, there's only one freaking road, okay? There's only one road, that narrow path, and that is love. Okay? There's many paths to the pathway of divine love. But once you get on that pathway of divine love, there's only one path, divine love. Okay? And in the end, you will see that I am both the Father and the Son. All right? Because we are the extensions of eternal benevolence, all right, upon the earth. All right. Now, we're going to be coming with that in a little bit. Because this is your atoning, nations. Okay? This is your atoning. All right, you are gonna have to assist us if you're righteous. All right, now, we're gonna go back over here because I want to wrap this part up here because I'm gonna. It's kind of gonna be like a scenario. All right, let's go.
Explain that. You show up at somebody's house and you literally play nice, then you rape, rob, and murder the whole damn family that's living in that house. However, they have other descendants. They have their bloodline still upon the earth. All right, their bloodline still here. You didn't wipe them out. So what I'm trying to say, you come to somebody's house. You slaughter the family that's in that house. Like I said, however, there's other family members elsewhere. All right? You try to take out all of them, but you can't. All right? But what you do is you subjugate the children of the descendants. Okay? You round them up. You find them. You hunt them down. You find them and you round them up. And you take them under subjection. All right? But under the same household. But you take over the household. Now it's your house. Now your rules is the rules that the children have to grow up and follow and teach to their children and their children's children and their children's children. This is what happened to us. So when the worst of the heathen flocked over here to this land in the late 14th into the 15th century, and then in droves at the end of the 17th into the 18th century, flocking over here by the millions, if not billions, biblical prophecy was fulfilled because the seed of Japheth began to dwell in the tents of Shem, and they have overrun the land, the blessed promised land that Deuteronomy chapter 28 lays out crystal clearly. All the atrocities that these people would commit in this land against us. We are the only people upon the face of the damn earth that fit every single one of those curses that happened right here in this land at the hands of your forefathers. You somehow think that you don't have to atone for this. You somehow think that that went out the window, that it no longer exists because Jesus came to pay the price for your sins. Never mind the fact that you were lynching us and hanging us in the 1900s. You were feeding our sons and daughters to alligators in the 1900s. You were burning us alive on crosses in the 19th century. You've been shooting us down dead in the street while holding yourselves not guilty in the 20th and 21st century. But yet you have never restored us. And anytime there is a mention of restoring us, there's all kinds of excuses on why you can't do that. Because deep down you already know that to restore us is to restore who we were before colonization.
Yes, before colonization. Who were we before colonization? Why don't you never want to talk about that? Where was our land before we were taught? Like, where were we residing? You know, like, why is my own people not wanting to know our real history? You know, how come they're so complacent with accepting colonizers' version of our history? Telling us that they brung us over here to this land on slave ships from Africa. We were already here. And foreigners built their heaven upon our ancestral land and got to reap the benefits of our blessings this entire time. And our God allowed it. They got to gaslight us and tell us that our heaven is somewhere in the sky. Literally making us believe that if we're good, obedient slaves, we'll get to heaven when we die. You're gonna have to change this mentality, people. You cannot hold on to this mentality. You can't hold on to this mentality and make it into the coming kingdom. That's an impossibility. All right? You were hanging us in trees. All right? This is from the Willie Lynch letter. The breaking process. They called us African. This is after they reclassified us. All right? Because we're the true Americans. And I got many videos breaking down who was already originally here. Okay? Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any sign of resistance and submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of bitch out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. See, my mom did not go through this. Neither did my mom's mother. But my mom's mother's mother did. And her mother's, her mother, okay, her mother's mother, okay, and it was passed down for generations. So that's why when it got to me, my mom was hell bent on trying to force me in my early years to submit to labor when I became of age. Okay? Submit to labor. All right? My mom was forcing this upon me. But where did it come from? It came from this, the breaking process of the people of this land. Okay? We are not Africans. All right? 1,642 unarmed brothers and sisters were shot to death by police between 2013 and 2019. That's just freaking, what, 6 years? In 6 years, they killed 1,642 unarmed indigenous people. And the world has been complacent with that. So, the scriptures say, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. They boast in their riches, profanely give God thanks, that they thrive by cruelty and oppression. You serve the Antichrist, people, and you don't even know it. You're thanking God for the dead body on your plate. Oh, we're close to this freaking so-called holiday, Thanksgiving, but you want to call it Thanksgiving. You want to sit around the table with friends and family and thank the living God for the dead turkey on your plate. You people are in a strong delusion. You don't care about the pain and suffering of that turkey. You don't care about the pain and suffering of the indigenous people of this land. You are complacent with a satanic ass system. And you refuse to acknowledge who it is that's been running all of this. Because it ain't been us. It's been the Europeans. It's been the times of the Gentiles. Luke 21:23. The destruction of Jerusalem. So you cannot ignore real history and just hide your hands and act like everything is hunky dory. Because it's not hunky dory for the people who were destroyed and who are still languishing, okay, who's never been restored. You cannot be a good hearted person and be complacent with this. For these are the days of vengeance to fulfill all that is written. How miserable those days will be for pregnant and nursing mothers, for there will be great distress upon the land and wrath to this people. We fell by the edge of the sword, and we were led captive into all nations. We have become the property and the mocking and scorning of all nations. And Jerusalem has been trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Okay? We've been trodden down by the Gentiles. Okay? Trodden down by the Gentiles. Trodden down by the Gentiles, the Indo-European, the pale-skinned people. Okay? We've been trodden down this whole time by the Gentiles. Okay? 1 second. Trodden down by the Gentiles. Alright? So it only makes sense that these people are the richest people upon the face of the earth, because it has been the times of the Gentiles. So these people have been ruling. They worship the god of money. Okay? So they've been able to just live lavishly upon the earth and care nothing about the indigenous people upon this earth. Okay? Care nothing about us. Alright? The richest family in every state. All Europeans. It's a white world. Okay? They glorify and worship their money. Okay? They care nothing about how we've been raped, robbed, murdered, plundered. All of our resources been taken from us, and we've been up under subjection of this wicked ass system. They care nothing for us. Okay? And they care nothing for you people either. Alright? They've been trotting us down. And you too. Okay? All of you who have been complacent with this. Alright? It was great wrath upon us. Okay? So, as you can see, this was the times of the Gentiles. Until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And see, your time is fulfilled, Gentiles, because we have the light of truth, all right? And we're being obedient, Okay, so that signals the end of your time. All right? It's the end of your time. You got the blessings of Lucifer. Okay? You're all prosperous. But yet the world is in turmoil. You're prosperous, Gentiles. But yet the world is in turmoil. What have you done with the blessing that the Father allowed you to obtain? You set yourselves as kings and rulers over his earth and over his people. Where's the righteousness? Where is the morality? Where's the love? Where's any of the fruits of the Spirit? How come it's all about immorality, living lavishly, selfishness and greed, capitalism? There's homelessness. There's starvation. There's all kinds of misery upon the earth, but you're in prosperity. And you see no problem with this. It testifieth of your heart. It testifies that your heart is wicked. Okay? You have trampled upon us this whole damn time. And now you're in a valley of decision. It's your choice. Whether you're going to help us get up, or if you're going to join yourself to this satanic ass system of oppression and continue trying to stand upon us. Either way, we going to get up. We going to get up. And when we get up, if you chose to stand and band together with this unrighteous, unjust system, woe be unto you. Okay? You're going to be one of these here, where your tongue is going to, your eyes is going to consume away in their holes, and your tongue is going to consume away in your mouth. Okay? These were the original people that were here. All right. You see this very old photo. Okay. And you got the Europeans over here. Okay. Got some Europeans right here. All right. Sitting high. All right. They reclassified us. Okay. I got many videos talking about how they reclassified us. You guys are not indigenous to this land. Not nan one of you are indigenous to this land. So you are in a valley of decision. You want to begin to help us. That is your best bet. Okay? You do have another option outside of this satanic ass system. Okay? Let's find out where we are.
And the perpetuation.
Hold on.
That to restore us is to restore who we were before colonization, and the perpetuation of your heinous captivity, your yoke of iron, your tyranny that you have refused to let up against us. But you want to continue to gaslight us and pretend that you love us by coming in our neighborhoods and feeding us flesh and blood. You think you doing something? I went to your churches. All your buses that came to our neighborhoods. Yeah, in the hood. The church bus will roll up, pick us all up, take us to the churches when I was a teenager. I was a young adult, a part of the youth group. And whenever service was over on Sunday, the bus driver would take us to Burger King. and buy us all a double cheeseburger from Burger King. I'm sure it made him feel good that he was treating us to a restaurant. Many of our people didn't have that luxury. So, on one hand, it was a good thing. Back then, I saw it as a good thing because I didn't have that luxury. And I loved Burger King at that time. I preferred Burger King over McDonald's. So, I enjoyed the double cheeseburger. I was appreciative for what this Gentile did out of his free will, out of his free agency. Nevertheless, that ain't how you atone, white people. No, the way that you're going to be led to atone, if you choose to do so, is to humble yourself like a child, unlearn every single thing that you've been taught according to the ways of this world, because you need to realize that this world that we've been presented is an illusion, is a false reality. It was a paradigm during the times of the Gentiles. It's not something that was intended to go on for eternity. No, there is a time limit for this.
That's what you need to understand. It is a time limit for the times of the Gentiles. All right? And your time has been fulfilled. Just because you don't realize it does not mean that what I speak ain't real. Okay? It's time up. Now, like I said, you got your free agency to continue to hold on to the illusion. You can do that to your own destruction. Okay? But it is time to help us. Alright? It is time to take your place as a righteous am. Okay? It is time. In that day, there shall be a root of Jesse, who shall stand as a banner to the people. For the Gentiles, the righteous ones, shall seek him, and his resting place shall be glorious. If you want salvation from my God, you must have the fruits of the Spirit operating within your heart. And if you have the fruits of the Spirit operating within your heart, then you will be helping his people. You will become a righteous am, and your resting place shall be glorious. Okay? That's what you need to do, Gentiles. All right? Lift up your eyes all around about and see they gather together to come to you. Your son shall come from far, and your daughter shall be nursed at your side. Then you shall see and become radiant, and your heart shall swell with joy, because the abundance of the sea, the abundance of the Gentiles, they get the prosperity bag of Lucifer. It shall be turned into righteousness, those who are righteousness. The wealth of the Gentiles shall come unto us. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 60, verses 4 through 5. The Gentiles, the righteous ones, you are to bless Zion. He said, I will bless those that bless you, and those who choose to curse us, you will be cursing yourself. Okay? For you are going to reap what you sow. All right? Second. We know that there are some righteous Gentiles. There has always been some righteous Gentiles that chose to do the right thing. Okay? Yes. And they were treated just like us. When they chose to help us, they were treated like us. All right? The Europeans turned on their own. Okay? When the righteous Europeans would help us, they were lynched, they were hung, they were jailed, they were shot, they were killed for helping us. All right? So expect that, righteous Gentiles, you potential AMs out there that make the declaration for righteousness. All right? Expect to be persecuted like us. Okay? Nevertheless, you're going to have to be strong like these Gentiles back then. Okay? That chose to go through it. Hold on. Let's see. Find that guy. Hold on. This guy here. All right? You see him? He took that from his own people. All right? Why is this European man relevant to Israelite history? He was one of the freedom riders. In 1960, he was on a bus full of freedom riders who arrived in Montgomery, Alabama, where an angry mob of Europeans was waiting for them. He volunteered to get off the bus first and take the brunt of the mob's violence, which left him beaten and bloody. His name was James Zurich. If I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. He's a German, okay? And we read that prophecy about the Germans, okay? Or to the Germans, all right? Germany, all right? That right there is declaring his name before men, all right? Um, that's confessing his name before men. All right? That's what the Messiah was talking about. Okay? It is about the heart condition. All right? It's not about the fact that he got his ass beat. Okay? It's about his heart. All right? It's about his heart. He cared about his brothers that was of a different ethnicity. Okay? He cared about us. So much so that he chose to take the brunt of this mob's anger. All right? It's not about him being bloody, it's about his heart. Okay? It's not about your money, Europeans. It is about your heart. You have the prosperity. So, because our God allowed you to get the prosperity, you will want to rise up like this righteous European. Take the brunt of the persecution and all these things. Hell, we've been taking the brunt of it, actually. All right? Because we've been out here, like, bro, it's like the whole damn world has come against me. Okay? So, you righteous Europeans that got the prosperity, you should want to help me. Okay? If you are righteous, you are going to have a burning desire to help me. All right? And you will also take upon yourself the persecution of the world. And you're going to have to stand through it. Okay? One second. Um, Yeah, I think that was all I was gonna bring out. I got more things about the Europeans helping us. Oh, thank you, Father. One second. Okay. This is from the non-canonical Acts of Peter. Alright. Non-canonical Acts of Peter. I'm gonna be wrapping this up in just a second. And start another one. Because I think it's over 2 hours. It's getting very close. Okay, it's 1:59, so it's gonna be a little over 2 hours. Because I'm gonna go ahead and go into this right quick. Um, So this was a Gentile lady that came to Peter. All right, all her vessels were made of gold since her birth. She had never used a vessel of silver or of glass, but only of gold. She said to Peter, Peter, servant of God, in a dream the one whom you call God came and said to me, Chrissy, bring 10,000 pieces of gold to my servant Peter. You owe them to him. So I have brought them, fearing that some evil may come from him whom I saw and who has gone to heaven. And having said this, she laid down the money and went away. Okay? It was about her heart condition. It wasn't about her money. Okay? It was about her heart. All right? And Peter, seeing this, praised the Most High that the poor could now be provided for. Okay? Some of those present said to him, Peter, is it not wrong to have accepted this money from her? All Rome knows of her fornication, and it is reported that she is not satisfied with one husband. She uses even her own slaves. Therefore, have nothing to do with Chrissy's table, but let everything be sent back to her that came from her. When Peter heard this, he laughed and said to the brethren, As to her conduct, I know nothing of it. Since I have received this money, I received it not without reason. It was about her heart. She brought it to me as a debtor to Christ, and give it to those servants of Christ, for he himself has provided for them. Okay? The Father works through the hearts of those who have. Okay? So no one is going to speak. You can speak against this all you want, but it ain't going to invalidate it. Okay? Because I'm instructed to bring this word. I'm instructed to offer this option to the righteous Gentiles who have the prosperity. Okay? Now, the rest of this is cut off. All right, see, a whole bunch of scorning. All right, it's cut off, but you can see, I've been scorned by my own people. They claim that I'm living for handouts from people. So I got to put up with that. I got to put up with my brethren accusing me of looking for handouts. It ain't about that. It's about walking in my spiritual mission. All right, giving you this word by way of the Spirit, giving you the clarity and understanding of the times that we're living in. Okay? So, you righteous Gentiles, you are to be obedient to that which is what's in your heart to do. Okay? So, if the Father is pressing upon your heart to help his servant, that's what you are going to want to do. All right? And the noise of the opposition will be silenced. Okay? They can say what they want to say, but it ain't going to change what's going to happen. Okay? Now, let's find out where we're at. Let's go ahead and end this, okay? And I shall be picking it back up to try to continue this, all right? I don't know how long we're going to get into it, but right now we're about a little over 16 minutes in, okay? And it's a little under 30 minutes, all right? So till then, I will be right back. Shalom.